Hi and welcome to my Quaint Cottage. I'd like to take a couple minutes and share with you Christian Kids Explore Chemistry. Alright, so this curriculum is for 4th grade through 8th grade, and my middle schoolers loved this curriculum. We actually used it last year. This year we're doing the physics, and I will do another video on that. One of the things my homeschoolers really enjoyed about this curriculum is that for every lesson, so one lesson a week, there is a hands-on activity, and for some of the hands-on activities they got to put on goggles and a lab coat, and actually we set it up as a lab, so that was a lot of fun for them. We set our curriculum up to do in a 5-day school week, but it is really easy to do it in 4 days a week. So for the first day of each week, we would start the lesson by reading the lesson. And there are some conversational questions in that reading that make the material more interactive with the students and make them think about things. They're not just sitting there blankly while I read something. I'm asking them questions, getting them to think about things, and it's all in the curriculum. On the second day, the children would do the review activity for the reading, and they would write their vocabulary words for that lesson. And I did that because I want them to really reinforce these vocabulary words. The repetition of hearing it the first day, reviewing it the second day, and writing it the second day. That repetition gives them some more reinforcement in their understanding of what these terms actually mean. They're not hard, but they are new terms, and they're chemistry specific terms. Acids, bases, things like that. On day 3, that was the fun day of the week, we would do our hands-on activities, and like I said, this is where they got to put on goggles and a lab coat. At the beginning of each unit, and there are 5 units in this book, you have a list of materials for that unit. For example, Unit 1 materials are cereal box, cleaning agent, shampoo, household measuring cups, juice glass, notebook, pencil, salt, sand, bowl, coffee filter, funnel, drinking glasses, aluminum pie pan, water, measuring cup, index card, cooking oil, sugar, mustard, more bowls, paper adhesive labels, more glass jars, and safety glasses and smock. And that's the part that the kids really loved. My youngest loved, even though he wasn't really participating a whole lot in this class, he loved listening to the class. We did this last year, so he was 2nd grade. And he was the first one to go and grab the goggles and the smocks and pass them out because he wanted to participate in the lab part of the class. So that was a lot of fun for him. And it was fun for me too, because I'm totally math science, and I really like encouraging the kids and really getting the kids excited and worked up, and on science activities, chemistry, and then this year's physics. And the great thing about this curriculum is that they take the higher science concepts and they introduce it to 4th through 8th graders in very easy to understand terms, everyday language, everyday materials, so that this is not a class where, oh, this is something I'm never going to use in my life. Why am I wasting my time going through this? This is stuff that you use, everyday items, to explore chemistry concepts. And I really cannot say enough about this curriculum. I think it's really good. So for the 4th day, you could actually make the 4th day be your last day of chemistry for that week by just doing the think about it questions, reviewing the concepts, reviewing the vocabulary, reviewing, talking about what you did in the experiment the day before, and then do the think about it questions that go along with that. Or you could make day 4 into a free day if they didn't get their vocabulary all written, if they wanted to read the material again, if they wanted to talk about it again, if they wanted to do the experiment again. There are also coloring pages in here. I'm not big on busy work, but if my children were going to, say on day 4, they really want to do the experiment again, I am not going to stop them. They are more than welcome to go ahead and repeat the experiment to show themselves, and prove that the results of their experiment were the same or not the same. And then, of course, if you want to make it into a use the 5th day. You can, do all that for the 4th day, and then the 5th day you can do your think about it questions. So there are 30 lessons and 5 units, and at the end of each unit there is a test, so that you can make this into a 35 week curriculum just by blocking off an entire week for those unit tests. And that's what I typically do. The tests are by no means difficult, especially if your kids were really psyched up to do the activities and they were doing their vocabulary and reviewing it every day. Throughout that, there's not these long stretches of time where they're not using the material, and so they forget everything, and when it's time for the test at the end of the unit, they absolutely don't remember any of it. And if you do want to do the unit test over the course of a week, you can give them review time to go back through and look at their notes from what they've done with their vocabulary, there's a written part for each activity. They can go through and read through that if there's any parts that they don't understand, which really, if you dig into it and make it fun, and it's so basic in chemistry. I mean, even if you're not good at science as a teacher, I think you could really use this and your kids could really benefit from it. Now, I am not getting sponsored for this. I am just really gung-ho about math and science, and I could not believe how great this was for my homeschool class, and I'd like to share it with you and hopefully, open up a new option if you like it. If you've already used this curriculum, tell me, did you have any problems with it? Did you love it as much as I do? Did it help your children? Do you think your children really grasp these concepts at an earlier age? Perhaps your children are older and they did chemistry in high school. Did this curriculum help them in middle school as they went into high school chemistry? Did they remember the concepts that they had learned and had applied? Was it able to help them in those higher sciences? I also am doing this one we did last year. This year we're actually doing the physics one, and I've already decided that next year we're doing the earth science one. And the reason we did not do earth science first is because all through elementary we were doing a lot of the basic elementary sciences, which really kind of put everything together and touch on everything a little bit. And when I suggested earth science to them, they said, no, we don't want to do earth science. Can't we do something else? And so that's why last year we did chemistry. This year we did physics, and that'll give them enough of a break. Now, I do have one that'll be going to high school next year, so she's probably going to take biology. Whole different story in that. But for my younger two, I've got one going into 4th grade and one going into 8th grade, and they will be doing the earth science one, and I'm really excited for it because I know how great the chemistry one is and the physics one is, so I'm really looking forward to next year's. Oh, and I did look it up. The cost for this one right now on Rainbow Resources is $30. So you get the curriculum book and it comes with a resource CD. I don't remember if the lessons are on the CD as well, the reading part of the lesson, but all of the activities, all of your printables, the questions, all of that are on here. And as far as the labs go, if you're just really not into labs, at this point in your curriculum, or you don't have time, or this is, that's just not your thing, you don't have the resources to do it, a few of these do have alternate hands-on activities. One that I just flipped through that I noticed off the top is a word find, and that's just reinforcing your vocabulary. So it's not a lab, but it is considered hands-on. It's something that they can do independently, and it helps reinforce the lesson, which is what the hands-on are supposed to do. The hands-on are supposed to give a real-world applicable situation in where these concepts exist and function, and it's used as a way to explain it in a more memorable way, because when you read something, you're not going to remember it as readily literally as if you lived something. And that's why I love these hands-on, because the children are living those hands-on experiments. They're remembering, oh, we did this one activity, and they've been talking to their friends about this cool activity they did, which is always fun when when your homeschoolers are so excited about what they're doing during school that they tell their friends outside of school how cool this activity is. So that's always a plus and a reinforcement for me as a teacher to know that I'm doing a good job. I'm making an impact. We're building on these fundamentals. But that is all I have. Hopefully this wasn't too terribly long. And I hope that I have given you yet another curriculum to think about and consider for your homeschool. And if you have other science you love, tell me. I love science, so tell me. I want to know all the curriculums. That's all I have for you today, and as always, may your homeschool be a blessing. Bye-bye.